Okay. All right. But yeah, I said earlier, we're in charge when you look at the political leaders within our state, the governor on down, and he's going to be appointing, at least I counted about 16 cabinet positions in the state of Maryland. And I would say to you all, one of the key cabinet positions that I suggest that you look at, because I'm going to watch it very carefully, is the governor's office, GOMA, Governor Office of Minority Affairs. That's a appointment that really, the last Governor Hogan appointed a Korean. I understood why he did that, his wife being Korean. I'm not mad. Politics is politics. So now that we got Westmore in there, I think it's our time. And so please track and follow, because I will, that appointment to who is going to be the Governor's Office of Minority Affairs. So that's one. Okay, I've got two people that are coming in. Give me a minute, folks. They've got the wrong ID number, so I'll be right back, and then we'll get. Okay, I'm back. So that person was one digit off. So what we'll do, let's go down around the table and do a 90-second introduction, who you are, company, and any notes or any side conversation or tidbits that you want to share. So I'll look at my screen and start calling folks that I see on my screen from my left to my right. And I see Tanya, the blockchain queen, I see up there as you got listed, Lawrence. So you'll kick it off with the introduction. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanya Lawrence, the
Good morning.
blockchain queen. I am in Columbia, Maryland. My background is as an investment banker. My husband and I, we owned our own investment banking firm for over 24 years. We were blessed enough to be put in some strategic situations that he orchestrated for us to retire about 6 years ago. And now we just, over the years, have been looking at blockchain technology, everything that it's going to do for the space, how it really will become the next version of the internet. And from that, from discovering blockchain technology, how it works, how it's impacting people around the world, recently happened upon a platform that is allowing people to invest their money and double it every 6 months using blockchain technology. So I'm super excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to do a side note. You didn't retire, you just transitioned.
Yes.
Yeah. You transition to that. We're business people. We don't retire.
I get to do what I want for fun now.
There you go.
There you go.
So again, welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Dale Dix, you're on, sir.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Dale Dix, Patriot, retired Marine, retired from Fannie Mae, and I'm currently the president and CEO of Sage One Financial Services. I like to ask the question, did you know that financial illiteracy is the #1 economic crisis in the world, impacting over 5 billion people? Well, at Sage One Financial, our mission is to stamp out financial illiteracy across America, teaching individuals, families, and businesses how money works, and showing them how to simultaneously accumulate wealth and eliminate all debt, including the mortgage, in as few as 5 to 7 years, converting debt into wealth, achieving financial independence, and passing on a legacy in perpetuity. because knowing how money works and becoming financially literate fosters financial peace of mind, strengthening families, communities, and our nation as a whole. So I'm a financial educator and a trusted advisor, and I'm available to do workshops, financial literacy workshops, both in person and virtually. So I encourage you to reach out to me if you will, or let's collaborate and let's make the world a better place in terms of financial literacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. I always love that word, financial, and then literacy and generational wealth. That's another piece as CEOs we've got to start thinking about too, is that generational wealth, passing it on to whomever, our family members and all, and educate them in that. Because when you look at white wealth and black wealth, I should say white wealth and maybe black, and you fill in the blank. Because we're not there yet. We're really not there yet. So, Dale, glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Doc Lawrence, got you on here now.
Nate, thanks for having me this morning. Only you could get me up this early these days, so I'm happy to.
See, when you retire or when you transition around here now, I know 11 o'clock is a little early for you. I understand you folks that's in that transition mode.
6 years and counting, Nate. 6 years.
All right, great.
My name is Dr. Jameson Lawrence Esquire, and Nate and I have known each other for, 15 years. It's been a long time. I was the founder of the investment banking firm BVFR and Associates, LLC, with offices in Alexandria, Harrisburg, Jackson, Mississippi, and our headquarters was in downtown Baltimore. I ran that company successfully with my wife until 2017, when I had a exit strategy through another company that I bought interest in called Chesapeake Renewable Energy. I sold that company to Constellation Energy and was able to retire from day-to-day business. Went back to advising people in my personal capacity as a CEO for access to capital utilizing USDA, RUS, FHLB, DOE funding, and really enjoyed that space, having people get access to smart capital. Nate and I were part of the Baltimore Smart CEO. I won numerous awards through that CEO, Craig Barris, and decided that I wanted to teach people how to gain access to capital. And people always said, Doc, I want to be like you. I want to retire early. What is that like? And I took a step back and decided to focus, as Dale was talking about, legacy wealth and financial literacy. And Tanya and I were lucky enough to have other wealthy friends who told us about, Novatech and other platforms. And we were able to put our own money in and invest through that in over a year's time, see that 52 weeks every single Friday since March 4th, we've gotten paid on average 3% on our money. And we had never come across anything like that. So we've been able to use ourselves as an example of wealth building, set up accounts for each of our 4 kids, and each of those kids, based on the compound interest of that particular vehicle, will certainly be, set for their young lives going forward. So I look forward to adding any value that I can based on my experience as a lawyer in investment banking by training to help this organization and the entrepreneurs therein, just be smarter about what's available to us and how we can all sort of fire our bosses, which if you're self-employed as yourself, and just take more time back, because time is the most invaluable asset we have. Thank you for the ability to participate.
Thank you, Dr. Jameson. Dale was back there chomping at the bit, smiling and said, hey, you're singing my sheet music. Great to hear.
You're singing mine. So Dale and I will be great friends. I'm looking forward to meeting.
Hey, I got involved in October, so I know exactly what he's talking about. So.
Yes, sir.
Well, if you folks can put your contact information in the chat room also, so we can get that. This is what we're talking about, folks, and I'll get to the other ones, is generational wealth, financial wealth, all of that. So, hey, if we all collaborate like the other cultures do, we can make this happen. So Sister Lee, back on to you. You my sister from another mother. So
My name is Elisha Lee, and I am the proud owner of three businesses. I have a Christian store, bookstore in Howard County. At this time, and that I'm aware of anyway, at this point in time, it is the only e-commerce Christian store located in Howard County called Glory to Glory Christian Store, where we sell Bibles, books, and church materials. I also am a mental health counselor, and I have three offices in Baltimore County. And where I have three offices in Baltimore County, I see people in person, virtually, also do groups as well. And then I also have a podcast called Elisha's Space. And within that space of that podcast, it's a place to provide resources, education, and things of that nature within to the community regarding mental health, and also to present positive messages, encouraging messages, to put that out in the airwaves as well. I'm going to be speaking at a symposium at the end of the month regarding relationships, and I will put that out so that you guys will be. I believe Perfect Generation Ministries is facilitating this, and it's addressing the increasing problem of our youth who keep getting involved in these unhealthy relationships, and kind of just teaching and providing some resources as well as a safe place for them to have conversations on about some things that are happening. So it's nice to meet everyone, and I plan to become more involved with Ujamaa, so you guys can expect a call or something from me, so that I can get to know a little bit more about you and send you some referrals, and hopefully you can send some my way too. So it's nice to meet everyone.
Very nice to meet you.
absolutely, we got to do that, because through it all, hey, we as people of color, when you talk about trauma, and my background is also in the field of HR, and I see people all the time coming in there, and particularly our young people now really need to face that. So if you've got any children or nephews, nieces, whatever the case may be, yeah, they're suffering from a great deal of trauma now after this COVID. So Miss Lee, definitely we want to support you. Absolutely. So again, thank you. Brother Eddie out there in good old Hagerstown, Maryland. Go ahead,
Yes, sir,
Brother Eddie.
absolutely. The real West Maryland, all right?
Yeah, the real west of Western Maryland.
Absolutely, you bet. Well, good day to everyone. My name is Eddie Peters, and I have two businesses that I'll speak of. But to steal a page from Dr. Lawrence, I saw he's a serial entrepreneur. I don't know how many it takes to be able to be called a serial. I've got three, so I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm stealing it though. I'm just letting you know, sir. So I appreciate that. But my two business loves that I'll speak of briefly. One is Legal Shield, where my wife and I will be celebrating 24 years, helping families and especially small businesses to have affordable access to the legal expertise we need to be able to help us protect and grow not only our small businesses, but our families as well. Be able to have that quality counsel to help us make better personal and financial decisions every day. And that has been a blessing. And the other is a love that I've always had, stemming from music. My company is Vocal Expressions, and basically, in a nutshell, it's your vision and me adding my voice, whether it be through song, atmospheres for social hours, happy hours, connect working events, if you will, just providing that soulful atmosphere in the background to kind of just keep things moving and keep figures popping and so forth, that type of thing. So everything from, I'm also a voiceover actor, narration, readings, so forth, emceeing, all the way to include, believe it or not, that niche of just your outgoing message on your phone to be able to get your friends' attention. A pet peeve of mine is people will say they have a business and then you call them and it has just that canned message or what have you. It says nothing at all about their business. That drives me crazy. So I also fill that small niche as well to be able to help folks to get their name and their business out as well. So Eddie Peters with Legal Shield and Vocal Expressions, and happy to be here. And Nat, thanks so much, as Ms. Lee said, for providing this format and this platform for each and every one of us.
Appreciate that, Eddie. And I highly recommend Eddie far as definitely Legal Shield. Eddie, I've had Legal Shield for about 15 years myself.
Yes, sir.
And as far as voiceovers, I guess you and I are in somewhat competition on that voiceover around here a little bit, but
no such thing, because we go
No
back
such
to how
thing.
big that pie is, right? See,
That's true. That's true.
That's another reason for a collaboration.
Collaborations, please. So definitely, and I would definitely put a plug in there for those voiceovers when you get that call message. They give you that canned message. Hey, let's personalize that a great deal. So yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Miss Lawson.
I'll get you that $20 for that plug on Legal Shield. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, gotcha. Lexus Lawson, tell us about you.
Hello, good morning. This is my first call on the roundtable, so I'm excited. I'm a new member, so I am excited to actually be on this call. So thank you for the offering. I'm president and CEO of Zippy Errands, a personal concierge service for seniors. We go the extra mile for you. And I should have my logo and I have on my shirt, and I let them know that we run errands for seniors. So we offer peace to seniors. So that is my side business. I have been in business for 6 years. That is on, I do that on the side. So I'm hoping to connect with you so I could actually make it my full-time business. I work as a workforce consultant for Howard County government during the day. So I'm looking to retire out of that and to retire into my passion. So thank you for the opportunity to be on this call, and I'm looking to learn from all of you.
Great. Lexus, make sure we get your information too, as I said, with Eddie and others in the chat, so people can save that and then reach out to you and help your business grow.
Thank you.
Brother Gordon, got you on now.
Sorry, good morning. How are you?
All right.
Okay, well, let me tell you all a little bit about how I am situated. I'm a career banker, commercial banking. Been doing that since I got out of grad school and have all over the map.
You're coming in and out, Dennis, so get that mic. You're going in and out.
How about now? Is that better?
Still can't hear you.
Oh. How about now?
Yeah, you may have to keep your voice right there so we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm saying is my main career has been in banking. Banking, started off with Mellon Bank in Pittsburgh and various.
You're going in and out again.
I'm not sure what to do here. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Try it now.
All right, let me try one more time. Okay. No.
Still not hearing you.
Derek, do you want to try?
We can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, again, my career has been in commercial banking. I've been all over the map in terms of general C&I and real estate, and also investment.
You're going back out again.
How about now?
I tell you what, let's hold on and we'll try to get you back and let Derek maybe substitute for you.
Dennis, try a headset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Derek.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I really appreciate you all having me join this meeting, and Nat, you in particular, for inviting me. I've known Brother Nat for longer than both of us probably care to remember. At least, I guess we're talking 15, 20 years in that range.
About 20 years.
About
Yeah,
20
about
years.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that being said, I guess I fall to the category of a interrupted serial entrepreneur. And I'll kind of go backwards. Currently, Dennis Gordon, my business partner, and I formed a Apex Valuation Services and Consulting, which basically we perform corporate valuations on publicly traded companies, in addition to privately held companies, as they are bought and sold, transferred. And also for those who are interested in the value of their businesses, obviously we perform that service as well. And we launched this this venture last year. I'm pleased to say, thank God, we've gotten off to a very good start. And it's a service that I think particularly established small and medium-sized minority business owners. It's a service that they can utilize, because when you sell your business, as though some of you have engaged in buying and trading of businesses, I mean, the most essential issue is how much is this business worth, or how much is mine worth when someone's looking to buy it. And you need a trained professional to provide you with that information. Both Dennis and I are certified valuation analysts. And my background is I was a banker. I was the vice president of commercial real estate lending with Bank of America in Baltimore for about 12 years. And then I had two businesses for the subsequent 20 years. One of the businesses was a consulting firm where I managed loan funds for the city of Baltimore and also for the state of Maryland. The loan funds that I managed for were primarily small business and medium-sized business loan funds that were funded by state bond issues. I essentially did the underwriting and approved the loans and closed them, funded them, that sort of thing, as a consultant. And also for 17 of those 20 years, I operated a nonprofit where basically we had provided residential services for post-adjudicated teenage boys between the ages of 12 and 21. The population came from the state of Maryland, primarily from metropolitan Baltimore. But these are kids who, in lieu of, it was a diversion program, in lieu of going to juvie jail because they had already been convicted of an offense, they would go through our program and basically would stay with us, and in lieu of serving time in juvie jail, if you will. And candidly, that's the most rewarding work I ever did in my life. Did it for 17 years and shut that down in 2017. Around that time, when my kids finished college, I moved up to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and was there for the following 7 years. I just moved back to Maryland 5 months ago, where Nat and I reconnected. We realized we had been out of touch way too long, and that's where he informed us of this forum. And again, Dennis and I have known each other. We both were bankers at Bank of America back in the day. And he was the one who turned me on and said, you ought to go ahead and get your certification to do corporate valuations, which I did. And I think it's a service we can provide to, again, the business owners, not just, locally, but certainly those near us in proximity, but nationally and globally, because we're certified to do business valuations around the world. There's 7,000 people who have the certifications that we have to perform this, and we plan to go about it. Very quickly, beyond just doing the corporate valuation piece, we're also going to be providing develop institutional lender packages for those who need debt financing and also for those who need to attract investor financing. We can provide that service in addition to business growth consultation for those who want to move their businesses up to the next level and don't quite know how to get there. And as I mentioned, investor business plans. We're able to do that. I look forward to knowing all of you more as we go down this road. And thanks so much for giving the opportunity to meet you this morning.
Okay, good. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Dennis, on that. And I would side note, folks, this is what we're talking about in terms of business, taking this all the way up to that generational wealth, evaluating your business. I've said this constantly. You've got to have a banker in your pocket. You got to have an attorney in your pocket. You got to have an accountant in your pocket. But hey, when you got a person like Dennis and Derek that's doing evaluations and putting you in a position where you can leverage your business to get the best deal that's out there. So, hey, this is what we're talking about, folks. This synergy and connectivity, so we all can really prosper as we go up. Pat, you're on.
Thank you, Nat. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our new attendees and new members. It's great to meet you. I am Patricia Newby, the president and founder of Strategic Business Partnerships, business coaching, consulting, leadership development. I started this business after retiring from the aerospace and defense industry in 2011. The hallmarks of my career were putting the underrepresented community in leadership positions. So making sure that they understood what it took to advance and then actually providing them with the opportunities. And also turning around a struggling subsidiary in Ohio, doubling the revenue and taking it from double-digit loss to double-digit profit. And from that, I decided that it would be just a waste if I didn't take that experience and the education that I received as an executive to help business owners in underrepresented communities. And so that was the genesis of starting Strategic Business Partnerships. Also recognized through my experience that when you're put in leadership positions, you're not always given the formal training that you need. And so it's kind of a touch and go until you kind of get the hang of what's going on. So that kind of explains the leadership development side of the business. And with the leadership development, my perspective is if you have better leaders, you have better cultures, and then you are better able to retain clients or employees and to grow your business. And so basically what we do, we work with startups, guiding them through the business planning process to launch or to acquire funding. Facilitate strategic planning with established businesses so that they can pivot and grow, and work with corporate leaders so that they can develop their unique leadership style. At a workshop that I did in Annapolis last week on leadership style, I shared with them that while you're in the corporate environment, everybody has an idea of who you should be and how you should show up. The problem is that if it's not genuine and authentic, it's not sustainable. And so you find yourself as you move from one area to another, trying to meet people's expectations, and it's just not something you can do. So my whole goal is to help them to define who they are as a leader, using core values, using their vision and mission, so that they're comfortable in their own skin and so that they show up in a way that people want to follow them. And that they understand that they're there to serve, that it's not about being in charge, it's about serving the team that you're working with. And when it comes to, small businesses, what I realized, I was shocked at, I thought that, startups needed help. I did not realize that established businesses also needed support. And so I want to make sure that we're successful as business owners. I understand the rewards that come with that, what's out there, what's available. I always say that, we have the best ideas. I grew up in West Baltimore. Everything we needed was provided by a small business in the community that you could walk to. And unfortunately, that's not where we are right now. And so the one thing that I noticed that was missing, while we have the ideas, we have the enthusiasm, we don't always have the business savvy. And so my goal is to bring that business savvy to small business owners so that they can thrive and so that they have sustainable businesses. Patricia Newby, Strategic Business Partnerships, we build better businesses. Thank you. And unfortunately, I'll have to hop off in a few minutes to meet with a client, but it's great meeting all of you and I look forward to seeing you at future meetings.
Thank you, Pat. Hakeem, Teaching Artists Institute, you're on. Okay, we'll come back to you. Sam, are you on far as grant writers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to hear your voice, brother. How are you today?
All right, you're on then.
Great. Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure meeting you. My name is Sam Manning, and I had the opportunity to meet this powerful brother a couple of weeks ago, and he told me about this organization. Two things I want to share with you. First, if you would give me the pleasure of taking a look at blackconnect.org. That's blackconnect.org, all one word.
Sam, put it in the chat also.
I'll put it in the chat. Yes, sir. We are
Okay.
a national nonprofit. We focus on reducing the racial wealth gap here in the United States. We're licensed to be in all 50 states, United States. The headquarters is in Tampa, Florida. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York right now. We have a chapter in Brooklyn, New York, a chapter in Tampa, Florida, and a chapter in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We are opening a chapter in Atlanta and Chicago very shortly. So what does all that mean? We're here to help reduce the racial wealth gap. We help Black businesses, just like yourself, get in business, stay in business, and thrive beyond the 5-year point. What does that mean? So what we do is provide legal services. We're one of the national nonprofits that has a pro bono legal service program. And currently we have 30 law firms that are working with us, 30 national law firms that are working with us. So if you join blackconnect.org, you become a member, you have now access to those 30 law firms. So when just to share a little tidbit with you, how well and how successful our pro bono program is working. We ended the year celebrating 27 law firms. We started the year, January, with 30 law firms. So 3 additional law firms reached out to us to be a part of us to help Black-owned businesses. So instead of you paying for legal services or getting a lawyer, you join us. Every month we have a list where you're going to be added to that list, and it's going to go to a law firm where they have your specialty, whether it's artificial intelligence, torts, contracts, whatever the case may be. We have a law firm that's a specialist in that particular area. Therefore, you don't have to worry about paying the law firm. They're providing that service. They're reaching out to us to reach Black businesses and provide their services. So that's one of the benefits we offer. In addition to that, we work with North One Bank. North One Bank is a business bank. It provides a business banking service to our clients, to our customers, and they understand the Black bank. We met with the CEO. We're going to meet with him again. He just received a round of funding of $67 million. So we said, we're going to sit down and work with you so you can fund us to reach more Black businesses and support and help more Black businesses. In addition to that, we have medical services. We have one of our own members who's in a position to provide medical services and medical benefits to our Black-owned businesses. And why do we say that? That helps you entrench your staff. It helps you stay in business. If you can provide your members medical benefits insurance, it allows you to keep a staff for a period of time so that way you can grow and leverage your business. So those are the key 3 things that we're providing right now. Of course, many, many more. Pro bono legal service. We have the largest pro bono legal service in the country. 30 law firms that are working with us with a purpose specifically to help Black businesses. That's their sole purpose of working with us. We have a bank that works with Black-owned businesses in terms of giving you the business banking service. It's a platform bank. It's all online. And then we also have medical benefits and service. So once again, go to blackconnect.org, check us out, join, get the benefits. Our whole purpose and sole purpose is reducing the racial wealth gap here in the United States. And then the second thing I wanted to share, Brother Olson shared with me, I'm a professional grant writer. I've been writing grants. I'm a retired educator, and I've been writing grants successfully for the last 21 years here in the United States. My whole goal and my whole intention, I'm very intentional about working in the Black and brown community. I get those nonprofits grants who have never had the wherewithal, the ability to do it. I take it off their desk and I write and I make sure that they get the funding. Last year alone by myself, I brought in 1.1 million. This year, I'm slated to bring about 1.3, 1.4 million again by myself. So that's what I do. This is what the conversation I had with Brother Nate, and he wanted me to come on board and share that with you. I'll put my information in the chat. Please feel free to reach out to me and ask any questions. And that's it, Nate. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Hakeem, you came in and then went out. So now your introduction, please. Okay. All right. What about TAI Tours?
Yes, I'm here. Thanks so much for calling us. I just want to make sure, is this the moment for our presentation, or am I just doing a little?
This is basically the 90 seconds intro.
Nice. So I'm Kim Poole. I'm a teaching artist, a performer, and the founder of the Teaching Artists Institute. We use art as a tool for community development. The motto of our organization is relevant to this discussion because our motto is that culture is the new currency. Understanding the value of values, it teaches you how to find needs in your community and fill them with the value system that keeps us as global African people sustainable, so that we're not reproducing the capitalistic systems that keep some people on the bottom and some people on top inherently. And so our organization is here to help with your branding, messaging, public relation campaigns, and most importantly, to connect you to resources on the continent. And we can't wait to have an opportunity today, thank you, Mr. Nat, to tell you guys about opportunities and investment that we have. We have two of our curators on the line today, Swatara Olushola of Akebulan Investments, based in Rwanda, Africa, and as well as our board president, Mr. Hakiami. Thank you, Mr. Nat, for the opportunity again, and we look forward to being a part of this Roundtable collective.
Okay, thank you. Hakeem, I'm going to let you start and then introduce also your colleague.
Thank you, and I appreciate it, Mr. Austin. I apologize. I'm in the DC area where someone just announced, let me just say, Emmett Till's child, one of the great cousins of Emmett Till just announced they're going to be running for Senate, U.S. Senate. So I'm very excited, but I'm more excited about
wait a minute, ho, stop right there. say that again.
The Emmett Till's cousin, like long cousin, is going to be running for U.S. Senate. So they just announced, so that's a big thing. But yeah, her name is Priscilla, but more will come out with that. But I'm in DC right now, so excited about that. But yeah, so I'm very happy. Well, good to see you all, and I know a few people there. But hey, Tanya and Mr. Austin, it's been a pleasure to know Mr. Austin over the past few years. I'll just say he and I don't know if we met, brother Nat, but we know each other from Dr. Frazier, Dr. George C. Frazier, who I've worked with on several projects, including a book and a film and several other events with his conferences as well. But I'm excited as the president of Teaching Artists Institute to fill this void with our global operations with the Teaching Artists Institute and expand. For the past 2 years, I've been organizing conferences in Tanzania, South Africa, and Kenya, and we partnered and connected to this sister, Sister Swatara, and she'll come on and say a little bit more. And it's good to have someone that's on the ground, that's from the United States, that currently has lived in Africa. She has a little bit more of our, what we know from a business perspective here, but also understanding, having access and building partnerships on the ground there. So she's going to be our on-ground partner there for this conference, our curator, and I'll, do some coordinating here, but I will be going with this trip. And so I put the contact information for myself or Kim Poole in the chat, but I'll, allow for Sister Swatara to share a little bit more of the details and the dates and et cetera, and her contact information as well. But I look forward to working with those that are interested in expanding the global operations. China and all these other countries are investing in East Africa, one of the fastest growing regions in Africa. And so we need to have our hands in it. So thank you. Hope I didn't take too much time, but I wanted to plug that thing about Mamie Emmett Till as well. So thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, Sister Satara, where are you? Go ahead. You're on mute. Oh, you're still on mute.
Okay, can you all hear me?
You're in and out. You're in and out.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, there's a little bit of a delay, and so I am also multitasking. We're in full throttle learning time in my home. My husband and I have been living in East Africa for 3 years. We have 6 children, one of whom was born over here. We have 2 businesses registered here in East Africa. We're in the agribusiness sector, also real estate, and there are a countless number of opportunities here in East Africa. And it really, it can be painful sometimes every single day to see people that have no vested interest in the well-being of African people come here and continue to benefit from these opportunities and continue to simultaneously rape the continent. And so that's not what we seek to do. We were raised in the movement. We are African-centered, community-oriented individuals and a couple. And so we have a true desire to see African people all over the world thrive. It is also called the Ujamaa African Investment Tour. So I was really happy to see that because it's in alignment. It's in alignment with our purpose as people and as professionals. And we're realizing that this fall with our East African Investment Tour, we're going through Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda, and showing people opportunities in person on the ground. You can see a little bit more about that at investinakebulan.com. That's ALKEBULAN.com. And I'll also put it in the chat box. Like I said, I'm multitasking right now, so that's why I'm speaking quickly, giving you a lot of information at one time. And I think there will be time later for presentations to happen. I'm not sure. But I would love to see several of you on this call at least come and see what I'm saying. For example, here in the Bugesera district of Nyamata or Rwanda in Kigali, right outside of Kigali, they're building a new international airport, maybe 10 or 15 minutes away from where I'm sitting right now. And it is not developed around here. There's just land for sale, waiting to be developed, waiting for residences to be built, waiting for businesses to be built, waiting for whatever your idea is to come into fruition here. There's also plenty of thriving, successful businesses just looking for partners to be able to export their goods or services to more places than they already are. So they're successful in their own right. They're not struggling or seeking anything from anyone, but they're open to partnerships so that our people across the water and African people here can thrive together. We all say, you know, we're African centered, we love Africa, we celebrate Kwanzaa, which is based on the Kiswahili language and traditional African practices in many ways, as well as the addition of our culture created in the States. It's time to realize that, you know, if you haven't already, we've created that avenue for it to happen and we're here living it. So I'll stop there.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, I didn't even know that you were at the mother continent. So what's that? Is that a 4-hour difference right now? Is it 3 or 4 almost?
It's actually about 7 p.m. now.
7 p.m. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, hey, we're international. What can I say? What can I say? All right. Just quickly, too, I always talk about the Ujamaa Business Roundtable, but people were telling me, well, what type of business do you have, Nat, besides the Ujamaa Business Roundtable? So I'm one of these people that can change it on this background so you see who we are. I can switch it easily. We are the Horizons Group, and in terms of explanation, I would say the front is who I am, the back is what we do. Those are the things that we do: executive search, executive coaching, business coaching, leadership training, strategic planning, career job counseling, nonprofit board search and development. So that's my 30-second commercial. But when you look at that, that's the background of who we are, the Horizons Group Incorporated. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. What we have right now, and I guess is a presentation. Is that going to be now Akeem, or is that going to be Kim? Kim, is that you?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
So the presentation is actually going to be made by Swatara. If you will make her a co-host, she'll be able to share the slides.
I will do that.
We also have a small YouTube link. Let me.
Okay. Let me.
And we can share the YouTube link with you prior to the slideshow. Swatara, if you could share that, we'll play that, and then she'll get right into the opportunities on the ground.
Okay. All right. That should be. She should have that. Should be able to share it.
Give me one.
Okay, you've got it.
And while she kind of provides Mr. Nadi, just wanted to say that, again, Teaching Arts Institute, we appreciate what you're doing. You are the full embodiment of our theory, culture as currency. We love what you're doing with the Howard County African American Museum. And the fact that you're here in the business space means that you understand inherently that our value system is only strong when we have a collective identity. And so, doing business initiatives that reinforces community development and helps us to realign the African trajectory of business ideals like barter and trade, some of the things that were just culturally derailed by, systems, schools of thoughts out of Europe around how we do business. And so I just, again, as an elder that's doing the work, an example of the work, and still has the energy, to show us how it's done. I just want to say, on behalf of Teaching Artists Institute and our alliance of organizations, we definitely appreciate you. The Ujamaa East African Investment Tour is just one of the 12 tours that we offer around the world to promote culture as our currency. And so the Elders Legacy Tour is the tour, just a shout out promo while she gets ready, is the one that we've invited you to, because we need to teach legacy building in our community. And it doesn't mean you have to be an elder to join us, but perhaps in our community, we need to talk about what it means to be an elder before you actually become one. Some people just mess around and get old. They didn't put any institutions in place. They don't have any legacy to leave. And now it's too late because they don't have the energy to build it. And so we want to build systems that are teaching our people how to do legacy building work. Let's talk about what you're leaving behind, not just financially, and not just in institutions, but in value system. Who among your next generation is going to carry on your legacy? Who cares about the value system that you've been promoting? And Baba Nat, I want to let you know we care in the Teaching Artists Institute about what you're building. And we, stand up and volunteer to be a part of how your legacy continues. So thank you so much. And we look forward to you joining us in October as well. Swatara, did you have the YouTube link yet? She said, come on, sis. Thank you, Blockchain Queen. I appreciate that.
We're still waiting for her to come on board. Kim, I don't know if I don't see her on right now. Thank you, Eddie.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happening. I do have access to the YouTube link myself. It looks like the signal may be a problem.
Could
So
be when you're thinking about the mother continent, you never know. So
yes, hey, that's a business opportunity. We're looking for the
absolutely,
fiber network who is going to
you got
provide
it.
fiber optic network. I can go and retrieve the YouTube link
Go
so
ahead.
that we can at least share that. I will also, if you can make me the co-host, I can also at least share basic details around the flyer, etc.
Okay, will do. Let me do that real quick. All righty. Okay. Okay. Okay, you got it.
All right. Okay, so again, the Ujamaa East African Investment Tour 2023 is the first of its kind. It's all inclusive, October 11th through the 22nd. We're looking for investors that have the right value system in place. And so this is a bottom barrel investment opportunity. It looks like I just had to readmit Swatara into the group chat. Hey, Swatara, sorry your signal is dropping on and off. I did take the liberty to begin talking about the experience and some of the just basic logistics around going. So if you are somebody that knows people, definitely sign up for this tour as an ambassador. Let me tell you, $4,000, I'm talking to the business people here. You know that for a journey to East Africa, all inclusive, including your flight, your meals, 2 meals a day, and all accommodations, that is literally a gift because we want you to join us. But in order to be an ambassador, you have to find other people that want to come with you. Your flight alone is going to be at $1,200. Your meals, your flights within the country. Tanzania is like 3 countries in one. You're going to Zanzibar on the island and you're finding opportunities for investment there. You're going into the mountains of Kilimanjaro near Moshi and the tourism sector, near the mining sites, and you're finding investment there. And then, of course, we're going to take you to the big city. Dar es Salaam is the largest African city on the East African seaboard that is still in ownership of their port. So we have Kenya and Mombasa. That's a Chinese-owned port. We go down further, we look on the coast in Mozambique. All of these places have now experienced colonial rule and what we call soft colonization from the Chinese or the 7 tigers, world powers. And so Tanzania is fertile ground in that way because they're still in ownership of their ability to import and export resources out of the country. And so $4,000 as a price for an ambassador for the East African Investment Tour is a gift because we want strong partners for the future. Become a regional expert. So this is an East African tour because we want you to have a comparative analysis. Many people have opportunities through Akebulan investment firm that Swatara operates to invest virtually. You don't have to go. But for us, we think, why would you invest in a region that you've never even seen for yourself? And if you're at a point in your business trajectory where you can't even go, you can't even afford to see opportunities to invest for yourself, then perhaps you need to do an analysis of your foundational business plan. So a regional expert, $5,500. It's still all inclusive. It includes your flight from the US out of the Addis, I'm sorry, not Addis. We're so used to Ethiopia. the Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C., outside of D.C., Dulles, and into Dar es Salaam, as well as your flight into Kenya, your flight into Rwanda. $5,500 includes your flights on every leg of the trip, on ground transportation, again, 2 meals a day, but it also gives you opportunity to receive a 2-month pre-tour training course on investment in Africa. So we want you to know who those business opportunities are. Let's put a face to these missions. We also want you to know about the basic venture capital firms that are operating. Some of them are not African owned, but we'll let you know who's on this symbolic landscape as it comes to this market. So it also includes all of your excursions. It's work-life balance. We want you to see the safari, right? Many of us in the African worldview, in the diaspora, this is our first time to the continent. So we want you to get the culture too. That's why having Thai Tours lead an investment tour means that we're going to make sure you meet the village people. We're going to make sure you go into the Masai Boma and get dressed with them and understand why they've been sustainable all these years with their culture intact, why they still own the land, why they're still hunter-gatherers in many regions, taking deep dives into that. You'll also have an opportunity to meet with governmental officials. The Teaching Artists Institute and Thai Tours, we've been working on the continent for over 10 years now, and we have memorandum of understandings. And so the business investments that you make in this East African region are going to be protected and backed by the government. We're not a mom and pop shop that just popped up without creating those sustainable relationships that are going to protect your investments long term. Africa is still a relationship economy. You have to know somebody that knows somebody. In the US and in the West, we pretend that that is no longer the case, that everything is equitable. And, you know, every man is judged based on his merit and his ability to perform. But in Africa, that reality doesn't exist, and everybody's okay with acknowledging it. They want to know, who are you? Who's your family? Who's your mother's mother? What village do you come from? Who's your tribe? And so what we're saying is that Africa is fertile ground, and we're willing to be your tribe when you show up. And we've already done the legwork. We know who's who, and we've already made partnerships that put us in bed with leadership. And that's going to build your business if you decide to invest this October. Next, if you just want to be a tourist, $4,500 gives you access to one country out of all of East Africa. If you could only see one country, we as a company recommend Tanzania. Again, fertile ground. We understand that, there's something about culture that orients the mind of the business leaders, owners, and investors. And for us, language is very important. Tanzania is the only country on the East African seaboard that's national language is an African language. And let me tell you, it does something to the pride of the people. When we work, and our organization works in 6 countries in Africa, on the West Coast, Gambia, Liberia, Ghana, on the East Coast, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda is up and coming. But we know what it's like when the people don't really believe in their area's investments. They don't believe what they're doing is trying to partner with you so that they can find a way to come to the United States, so that they can find a way to come to Europe, because they don't truly believe that there is value in the investment opportunities on their own symbolic landscape. But when you come to Tanzania, the pride of the people is a little different. That Julius Nyerere, the first president after colonization in Tanzania, he did something to the psychology of the people, and he put them on a track to self-efficacy, to self-worth. And they don't have this sense of powerlessness that we have experienced when brokering partnerships across the continent. And so if there's one place on a continent there that you can only experience to consider opportunities and investment, we highly recommend Tanzania. And of course, again, work-life balance, or should I say work-life integration. We're going to make sure that you get all those nice R&R experiences that teach you about Tanzanian culture, live performances. We're going to do food tours across the country as you learn about the farm to table opportunities in business and the agriculture that Swatara mentioned earlier. So Swatara is back now. I wanted to share those basic logistical details around the tour itself. Swatara, were you able to find the YouTube link to tell them about some of the investment opportunities?
Yes, so I posted a YouTube link in the chat box. And I also post our website in the chat box. Investment opportunities are a bit more comprehensive there. And then because we, like Kim said, have actually done the footwork, we've created professional and personal relationships with the businesses we're presenting to you. And so that includes seaweed, organic seaweed operation in Zanzibar. Sister Kulthum Mabad. She's already been in business for several years. She already exports to the US. She's looking to expand those export opportunities. And her company is already backed and endorsed by the Tanzanian government. And so there's safety and security there. There's also an investment opportunity for a lodge and hotel right on the beach in Zanzibar. And if you haven't seen or been to Zanzibar, it is definitely equated to, and I would say even surpassing that of the Maldives or whatever elite island destination you could think of. Zanzibar is that and some. It is tranquil, it is serene, it is gorgeous. This particular property has coconut trees, hundreds of coconut trees. It's right on the cliff, and the beach access is right there immediately available. And they've already gotten underway. And they're seeking investment or open to investment because they want to have more than one location. If someone is looking to get into the hospitality sector, then this is definitely a prime opportunity for you to do so. In Kenya, there's another government-backed and endorsed company there that's doing fish farming and looking to export the fish that they catch. And it's very simple and straightforward. Another one, my husband and I, we have an apiary here in Rwanda, 100-hive apiary. And we really would like to, our preference, just like Kim said, is to show you on the ground. Like I can tell you, and I can sit here and run off all of the different business opportunities. I can tell you about Sister Maya Gilliam, who is one of 6 companies out of 52,000 that applied here in Rwanda to be able to manufacture medicinal hemp and cannabis here in Rwanda. She is one of 6 companies who has gotten the endorsement from the government to do that. And she's building her manufacturing facility that is slated to be completed in time for the tour. Therefore, we will be able to go and see that ourselves. For those who might be interested in that sector, we'll actually be there on the ground. We'll actually have that relationship able to be nurtured on the ground in person. And so, like I said, I can run them off. You can go to the website and see them. But the best way for you to have a real idea and feel for the economic landscape here in East Africa is to come and see for yourself. And the best way to have a sustainable, and I'll even say genuine, realistic connection with the people here is to come and see for yourself. Come and look at the people. Come and eat the food that they eat. Go to places that they go. See how they interact, because all of that is going to affect your business and how you do business here. And so another tidbit that I'll add is that in my time here, I've become about 85% fluent in Kiswahili. And Kiswahili is the language spoken in Tanzania. It's spoken widely in Kenya. Here in Rwanda, it's spoken more places than people might realize, in Burundi and the Congo. And so I am here leading up to the tour. We will conduct workshops, but Kiswahili will absolutely be a part of that. And speaking the language meets people where they are. And it also gives you access to opportunities that you may not have had access to if you didn't know Kiswahili, because not everybody knows English. And personally, I don't think it's respectful to expect everybody to know English. We're not in an English-speaking country. So like I said, meeting people where they are, being on the ground, pouring into the continent, doing the work, and actually filling in some of the space so that our enemies are blocked out. And I don't know if that makes sense, but we don't want to sit idly by and watch our motherland sustain every other nation on the planet while African people around the world struggle. Or while some of us sit in our boxes and we're like, we're okay. But if our people are not okay, then we're not either. And so this is just a strategic arm of the community work that we already do. I'm an activist. I'm unapologetic about that. I'm the vice chair of international affairs for the National Black United Front actively now. And this is a part of that work. This is a part of seeing African people win. And so I'll stop there. You can forward me any questions you might have. I'll put our email into the chat box here. Yes, and thank you for allowing us the opportunity.
Yes. Thank you, Spatara. I'm not sure if we still have enough time. I know we're watching the time to play the YouTube link, Mr. Nat. Do we still have enough time for that?
How many minutes is it?
Swatara?
Because I want to finish up at 12:30.
I'll look at it. It should be about 4 minutes and 39 seconds.
Okay, you got it. 4 minutes, 39 seconds, you're on.
Perfect.
Okay, are you gonna play that, Kim?
I think Mr. Nat is
with the link in the.
You can play it, Kim, if you've got the link. Go right ahead. You're still a co-host.
Okay, perfect.
As we say, we love it when technology works. All right.
Can everyone hear?
Well, we can see it and think you got to start it. You're on mute, Kim. Don't think we can get that, Kim. If you can't, probably just put the link in the chat and we can leave it for our members to pull up the link.
I think it's already in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure why it's not working today, family, but the link is in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please, we invite you to go and see the link. Our contact information is there. If you decide that you want to strengthen the legacy of your family, Africa is the place to do it. One place where we can actually compete financially. The dollar just goes further. And your wildest dreams and imaginations, let them run wild on the continent, because it's possible. What you could do with $50,000 on the continent, you could never do here in the US, but they are catching up to us financially and in terms of infrastructure. So the opportunities that are on the continent now, they are time sensitive. So I'll just recommend that even if you don't decide to come with us on the investment tour this October, please consider investments in Africa before it's too late, before Chinese entities own most of the land through their soft cultural diplomacy, before the US that just announced the US Africa invitation to come with all African leadership. Now the US understands that they no longer have a choice. They have to acknowledge African leadership, and they need to make it public because they're doing too much work now. They have to tell somebody something. They can no longer go through quiet hedge funds at universities to make investments on the continent or weapons deals. Now they understand that they need to be forward facing. So let us not be left behind again. Let us go to the table and make opportunities for our community with the right value system in mind. Again, culture is the new currency. Let us help you make those connections. And even if it's not with us, please build a strong legacy for your family and consider investment on the continent while we still have time. Thank you again, Mr. Nat. I appreciate the opportunity, and we look forward to taking you specifically on the Elders Legacy Tour.
Hey, well, I'm not gonna say no. Just thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, Kim, and the rest. As far as our Africa, I have to say, full disclosure, folks, I did not the name that they took, Ujamaa. Hey, it just happened to be coincidental, but it's still talking about cooperative economics, Kwanzaa. That's one reason why I said, hey, I've got to bring them on, and because as I mentioned last month, we had Ghana. Now Kim and her team has talked about now not just the country of Ghana, but the entire continent of Africa. And that's in Black History Month. It couldn't have been appropriate than have it here on Black History Month, because guess what? We go back to our genealogy, 1619 Project. Where did we come from? The mother continent. So I think it's appropriate for us, and as Kim mentioned, and I think I shared earlier, Joe Biden has signed an agreement. Yes, the United States now wants to up their game and have investments in Africa because, as she mentioned, China is all over Africa. We've got to take our opportunity to go back to what I call the mother continent. So, Kim, again, to your group, thank you so much. We got it in the chat. We've recorded this, folks. So please, whatever you can think about expanding your range and your thought processes as a CEO, if it needs to form collaborative groups within the Ujamaa Business Roundtable, please do it. Don't let me stop you in a sense or tell you got to, if you feel that connection, reach out to Kim and her group, looking at Derek and Dennis, Jameson, Tanya, and all, how we can form this type of group. And it could be under even, who knows, we could get some investment funds together and we all could go. You know, let's not say no. We all can go, you know, and if it means that something, hey, we can even go from, and I'm talking to a person in Ghana that wants to maybe connect us to the ambassador. We probably can go over there through the State Department as what? Emissaries or ambassadors, and let the federal government pay for it. So let's think about that. I don't have those connections yet, but trust me, I'm going to develop those connections. If you got them, let's use them. And I can't see why we can have the Ujamaa Business Roundtable going to these countries. Hey, when you dream and vision, you can definitely try to achieve it. So everything is on the table. And that's how my vision is. Hey, I don't say no, I just say, how do we go? So don't think that, hey, we're going to be limited by this. There's opportunities out there. And if we can get that, anybody has connections again with the State Department, with the United States Chamber of Commerce, any government agency that's connecting through the Biden administration, we are a legitimate organization here. You're a member. Guess what? We can take a delegation over there. And I say a delegation does not have to be 1 or 2 people, it can be all of us. So think about that as far as opportunities. Updates, I'm cognizant of time. I want to get you out here at 12:30. Please, I'm recording this. It's in the chat. Save the chat if you can. For others that can't, I've saved it and I'm going to ship it out to you. So you'll have all the information that we covered today in the chat so you can review that and decide. When we're looking at updates, we're still connected to the library. Dale, I saw where Nancy contacted you and said that your showcase now is out there on the website. I think, did you get that from Nancy? Great. You're on mute.
I didn't see it, Nat. I'll certainly look for it.
Yeah, look for it because she sent it. I think she CC'd me letting you know that your business showcase is now up. They've had some technical problems, but now it's up. So we're going to put it on our website, the Ujamaa business website. Probably in the next couple of days, I'll get a hold of Brian and he'll upload it on that. Folks, for new businesses out here, we showcase your business. We have a relationship with the Howard County Library, and we do a business showcase every 4th Tuesday of the month. And I select a person in there. I'm usually the interviewer. Nancy Target with the library is also the facilitator. I was debating whether or not she approached me and said, Nat, we've interviewed everyone, but we haven't interviewed you. And I said, well, okay, I'll hold up on that one and get back to you on that. But we're going to go back on that schedule and start picking our business owners here and do an hour-long interview that's recorded so it can go up on the website. Alexis just mentioned that she's a new member. If you want to join us as a member, please let me know. The membership fee is $130. What we do in terms of members, we don't put your name in there. We put your website up. So when people click on the members, they go straight to your website. And then that's the branding aspect that we put there going forward. April, we're looking at probably having our April meeting. March, we're still going to have our regular, excuse me, our regular meeting. But April, we're looking at also having another connection with our contacts in Ghana also. So that's coming. And then who knows what will happen going forward. So any question before we leave? We've got 2 minutes. I'm always cognizant of time. Please mark your calendars. We always meet the 3rd Friday of the month at 11 a.m. We have not missed that in 17 years, whether it's 12 people or 2 people. CEOs are I'm that disciplined that this is when we meet. And this is the number that we have. So that has not changed. We're on Zoom. I'm looking at in the future too of getting us in person. If you can, I know some of you are outside of the area, but I'm negotiating right now to get Tanya Aiken, who is the CEO of the Howard County Library. And once I can confirm that for our March meeting, if your schedule permits, we're going to have it at the Howard County main central branch here in Columbia. We have not seen each other in person for over 2 years or more. Some of us have, but I want to get us as many as possible to have a face-to-face meeting so we now can have that connection. So I'll be working on our March meeting, same time, but at the Howard County Central Branch here in Columbia, Maryland, and you're going to meet with the CEO of the Howard County Library System. And if you're looking at perpetuating your business, understand they're one of the chief purchasers of services here in Howard County. And it doesn't mean that they have to buy just exclusively from our Howard County businesses. but they can go outside of Howard County. But I'm just letting you know that she is our CEO, the first African-American to be a CEO of our library system, is ranked in the top 5 library systems in the country. And guess what? She does buy products and services, and she's pro-Black businesses. I can tell you that right now. The sister's from Oakland, California. So I love her already because she's from Oakland, where the Raiders used to be. So already I'm loving the black and the silver and the black. So that's a little sidebar in there. But just want to let you know that's what I'm doing to bring value added to our business roundtable, opening it up to opportunities for us like we had today. Any closing remarks from anyone? It's 12:30. I'm cognizant of time. I appreciate all of you coming together. When I can look at this group and knowing that other folks that couldn't make it, but when I look at the group, this is really the vision and the dream that I had. Opening it up to business owners and just opening it up so all of us can be successful for the 21st century. Investments, generational wealth, collaboration, where we can all grow and we all can rise. So again, folks, have a great, great weekend. You got my name, you got my number. If I need to do anything, I'm going to shut off the record.